Now at 10, why one local lawmaker wants to regulate popular trampoline parks. And police in Baltimore are investigating after several people were shot during a cookout. Plus, the end of an era for the Janesville community, how two local photographers captured the moment the smokestack fell.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
As trampoline parks gain in popularity around the country, there are calls from the state capitol to regulate the industry in Wisconsin. Rose Schmidt introduces us to the state lawmaker whose personal story is taking him into this foam pit. Rose?
Yes, Amanda, injuries from trampoline parks totaled almost 18,000 in 2017, according to the federal government. At least 8 states have taken steps to regulate these parks. Now you can add Wisconsin to the list of states with plans to do so.
She's a typical bottomless well of energy that is a 4-year-old.
As you look around Senator Chris Larson's Capitol office, you can't help but notice pictures of his family, including 4-year-old Stella.
Yeah, she's braver than I am.
But her bravery has been tested this year.
It's a fate I'd hope that nobody has to go through, and it's even worse when it's your son or daughter.
Fighting the winter blues, 2 months ago, Larson's family took a trip to a trampoline park.
When we came in, my wife asked, is this safe for a 4-year-old?
With an assurance from the front desk employees,
I signed the waiver, went on our way.
Stella and 6-year-old Atticus bounced with the best of them.
Within 15 minutes, my daughter was screaming.
One emergency room trip later,
when we found out that she indeed had fractured her tibia, that she had broken her leg.
That broken leg sparked a much larger question for Larson.
We realized, wait a second, this is ridiculous that this happened in the first place, and what kind of regulations are there in place? What's going on?
What Larson discovered is there aren't any federal or state regulations for trampoline parks, though his frustration centers not only on the lack of rules, but lack of information available.
Yeah, being able to just get a copy, for example, of what the disclaimer was, it took quite a bit of effort, because you sign it and it disappears, you don't get a copy of it.
He's now looking into whether these parks could be regulated in Wisconsin with a rule change, and if not, he will draft a bill. The International Association of Trampoline Parks sent us a statement saying currently the industry is not regulated in Wisconsin, but the IATP would welcome the opportunity to work with lawmakers to develop responsible industry regulations.
As these parks are increasing in popularity, there's a lot of other states are stumbling into this backwards too, because these things are getting more popular, more people are getting hurt.
Including, of course, his little trooper, Stella, who got her cast off just weeks ago.
Now that she's all healed and everything's okay, we're looking back and making sure this doesn't happen to anybody else.
I reached out to trampoline parks in the Madison area. Sky Zone sent me a statement saying staff take many measures to reduce risks, including daily equipment and area spot checks. And all incidents are analyzed internally. We'll put the full statement from them up on our website, channel3000.com.
All right. Thank you so much, Rose. Let's turn it over to Dana Fulton with your first alert forecast. No snow today and a little bit of sunshine.
A little bit of sunshine for us earlier, and of course that sunshine just helped eat away at any snow that we did have on the ground. Slowly dissolving for us today and just melting into the ground. The ground's a little soggy, a little muddy. We are expecting more rain to come on through, so the muddy conditions aren't going to get any better, unfortunately, as we head into your Monday. Right now, your Doppler track's pretty quiet, just cloudy outside. A lot of rain, though, to the southwest, and we are expecting those showers to continue to develop and just slide right into southern Wisconsin. It's 45 currently in Madison. Same goes for Dubuque and Rockford, just hovering in the mid-40s for us. And it's just a little breezy outside, coming from the east currently at about 10 miles per hour for Janesville and Madison, 12 miles per hour closer to Mineral Point. And we are expecting our wind gusts to pick up by tomorrow morning, anywhere from 20 to 25 miles per hour for us early in the day. Now, as far as temperatures as we head into tomorrow afternoon, they are going to continue to climb or a little bit. It's going to be just a little cooler outside. We'll warm up under a cloudy sky with some showers coming through. But we'll take a closer look at what's ahead for tomorrow and the rest of the week in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Dana. 7 people were shot during a cookout this afternoon on Baltimore's west side. Police say one of the victims has died. A gunman opened fire while 2 cookouts were taking place. Witnesses say the gunman looked like he was targeting someone in the crowd.
Someone knows something. When these things happen, they don't happen by happenstance. People know who's doing these shootings and who's targeting different people. And for people not to come forward and say who have done this, looking for retaliation, that's not the way to go.
Police are still looking for the suspect. This shooting comes a day after an attack by a gunman at a synagogue in Poway, California, just outside of San Diego. The suspect, 19-year-old John Ernest, has been charged with murder in those shootings. A woman was killed and 3 others injured. Rabbi Israel Goldstein, who was shot in the hand and lost an index finger in the aftermath, said the first thing he tried to do was save the children.
Turn around, and I saw the children that were playing in the banquet hall. I ran to gather them together. My granddaughter, 4.5 years old, sees her grandpa with a bleeding hand, and she sees me screaming and shouting, "Get out, get out!"
60-year-old Lori Gilbert Kay died from her wounds at a nearby hospital. Authorities say Ernest posted a rambling, hate-filled manifesto on the internet in which he claims responsibility for a recent mosque arson. No one was injured in that fire. He is now also a suspect in that case. The Wisconsin Jewish community is also mourning those impacted by yesterday's shooting. The daughter of Rabbi Goldstein recently worked at the Shul Center Synagogue in the Milwaukee suburb of Bayside. The director of that synagogue says the shooting is devastating.
We really thought that this was a thing of the past, but unfortunately this is a reality today.
The Shul Center is part of the same network of Shabbat synagogues as the one in California. Some Wisconsin Republicans are looking into ways to accept federal funding for Medicaid without looking like they're backpedaling on their position. Republican legislative leaders remain opposed to expanding Medicaid, even with ongoing negotiations between Republicans open to the idea and Governor Evers. But with Evers publicly refusing to go back on his full expansion plan, compromise looks unlikely. Other Republicans are looking at what other states have done to come to an agreement on this issue. A statewide victims organization found 20% of Wisconsin teens have experienced some form of violence in their romantic relationships. And Domestic Abuse Wisconsin says 30 teens were killed by domestic partners in the state since the year 2000. The group adds the reason many teens are never telling adults when they experience dating violence, and they are encouraging young people to recognize when they or their friends need help. Madison police are investigating a shooting at an East Side restaurant. Around 2 this morning, officers responded to the Perkins restaurant on the 4800 block of Hayes Road and East Washington Avenue. They found 2 windows with bullet holes in them. No one was injured, but police are still looking for the shooter. A 68-year-old man is recovering from a broken leg tonight after he was injured in a hit and run last night. Madison police say the man was walking out of the Burger Tavern on the 1600 block of Seminole Highway. He walked straight into the roadway where he was struck by a vehicle. The driver took off and the man was taken to the hospital. Police are still looking for that driver. Switching to the Bucks now, the Milwaukee Bucks will take Monday to regroup after losing to the Celtics in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference. The Celtics beat them 112-90 this afternoon in Milwaukee at Pfizer Forum. It's the first loss the team has had in the 2019 playoffs after sweeping the Detroit Pistons last week. Melissa Kim will have the latest coming up in sports. More local news now. An iconic piece of the old General Motors plant in Janesville is no more. This is footage caught this morning of the century-old smokestack being knocked down. It's part of a demolition that began by the site's new owner about a year ago. According to the Janesville Gazette, the 200-foot stack was built in 1919. 2 photographers, Andy Sigwell, who owns a bar next door to the GM site, and his friend Josh Marks have been documenting the whole process since the beginning and have been watching carefully, waiting to capture this historic moment.
I'd go up every 15 minutes every day and make sure I was not going to miss anything until the sun went down.
100 years of history gone now, you know. I mean, they turned 200 some acres, 4.8 million square feet into rubble, you know, and that was the last icon to go.
The nearby bar, the Zox 411 Club, was popular among GM workers. The 2 photographers are planning to continue documenting the site's transformation. The plant has been closed since 2009. Coming up on News 3 Now at 10, how a big game of Scrabble is giving people with autism the chance to go to camp. Welcome back. A local yoga studio is raising money to help domestic violence survivors. Today, Inner Fire Yoga is donating all of its proceeds from special $5 classes, a silent auction, and raffle to Domestic Abuse Intervention Services of Dane County. The Westside studio manager says the missions of Inner Fire and Days are similar. They both want to provide people with a safe space and sanctuary. Inner Fire has raised more than $45,000 for Days since 2002 and hopes to add to that number today. A local bookstore wants to make sure kids have access to literature, doing their part with a book drive. The Half Pint Library Book Drive at Half Price Books is collecting children's books to be distributed to local educators and nonprofits. Half Price Books employees will sort through them all to ensure kids receive high-quality books. Assistant Manager Jennifer Lang says the book drive is important because books contribute to lifelong learning and happiness.
We have kids here, constantly looking in the section, finding the things that appeal to them, finding that one thing. My kid loves porpoises or whatever it is, to see that happiness.
If you have new or gently used books you want to donate, you can drop them off at any Half Price Books location through Tuesday. Each book donation will be matched. With the snow all melted away, it was a great day to enjoy a beer and raise money for local animals. The 2019 Pause for Pints kicked off this afternoon at the Wisconsin Brewing Company. The Cat Care Clinic of Madison organized the event to raise money for local animal charities. The event started as a charity only for cats, but has evolved to help all animals. Word game lovers shook their bags and racked their brains to support people with autism. The Spellin' It for Autism fundraiser at Bonefish Grill brought families together to compete in Scrabble and other word games. Proceeds will go to Camp Creatability, which hold workshops, summer programs, and vocational training for children and adults with autism.
They teach me as much as I teach them, so they are really, really intuitive, and just the rewards of seeing them succeed and be able to be successful out in the community is really just as much of a reward as, you know, teaching them something.
Camp Creatability's next big event is Kickin' It for Autism, a family-friendly kickball tournament that is on May 18th, and registration is still open. Let's get a look at your first alert weather with Dana Fulton. A more spring-like week ahead, hopefully.
A little more spring-like for us. We are looking at similar temperatures, though, at least for your Monday. Now, today we hit a high of 53, started the day off at 25 early this morning, and that's a new record low for us, actually, for April 28th. The previous record set in 1988 at 27, and of course, this morning was just a little cooler outside. And this afternoon, we got some sunshine, and the clouds started building on in. The cloud coverage, of course, stopping our temperatures, only hitting a high of 53. It was below average, but still following the snow and Saturday, it wasn't too bad outside for us today. Our Doppler track's pretty quiet right now for southern Wisconsin. It's cloudy outside. Our rain showers are to the southwest, but they are going to steadily continue to lift our way. And we will be looking at a little more consistent rainfall developing after midnight. This area of low pressure off in the plains will continue to slide east, bringing quite a bit of rainfall throughout the plains in the Midwest. This isn't a pretty small event for us. We'll see showers north and south and a little light snowfall way up at the edge of northern Wisconsin. We'll keep it up there for now. We have showers coming through again after midnight and into early Monday morning. Your morning commute's going to be just a little soggy outside. We may even see some heavy rainfall at times, actually early on Monday. By the afternoon, a few light showers may be possible on the eastern edge of the state, but overall, those showers will be drying up right around 12 o'clock. A cloudy sky expected throughout the evening, and then by Tuesday morning, we're still cloudy, but another chance for showers starts to move right in for us. Tuesday afternoon, we have a few light shower chances. Overnight, we're looking at the potential for a few thunderstorms maybe, and mostly just rain. By Wednesday morning, we still have showers. Wednesday afternoon, we're back to just the cloud coverage. Another brief break before the rain returns again. For Thursday, we're looking at the chance for showers and maybe a thunderstorm or two. Our unsettled continual pattern gets a little break by Friday. Friday, we're looking at mostly sunny skies. It should be dry for us on Friday. That next chance for rain will hold off and develop for us late in the day on Saturday. So the big picture includes quite a soggy setup for the next few days. Looking a little closer here, again, after midnight, we'll start to see those showers enter from west to east. Heavy rainfall at times certainly possible. Plan ahead. Your morning commute's probably going to take just a little longer. We get some rain and folks go just a little slower on the roads for us. Overnight lows will be in the low 40s, and tomorrow afternoon our highs will be back in the low 50s. So another cool day outside. By Thursday morning, we're cloudy yet again, and then later in the day, we have that chance for some rainfall developing for us. Wind gusts tomorrow morning could pick up anywhere from 20 to 25 miles per hour with that rain chance rolling through early in the day. So it could be a little breezy outside for us. Again, this is looking about 8 o'clock. Most of the wind gusts will be centered along that state line to the south of Madison. Rainfall totals will be hovering close to 1/4 of an inch, just a little more possible towards Madison. Higher amounts are going to be to the south, lesser amounts north of Madison. 42 for our overnight low, so not as cold for tomorrow, but those showers will develop after midnight. And then tomorrow afternoon, very similar afternoon high. 53 is what we're going with. Our showers will start to end right around noon. Our breeze coming from the southeast now will switch to become more of a northeast flow, about 6 to 12 miles per hour for our sustained wind speeds. But those wind gusts could be picking up just a little bit for us. A lot of rain coming through for the next few days. We could be ending the week close to about 2 inches of total accumulation. By Friday, that sunshine is going to give us just a little brief moment to dry up, and temperatures by the end of the week will actually be a little closer to average too. We should be in the low 60s, so 53 today in the sun wasn't too bad, but it would have been nicer to be 63 in the sun.
And we could deal with rain. It's not snow. That's
it's
a positive.
Not snow. It's not snow. Just showers.
We're going the right direction.
We are moving into May.
All right. Thank you so much, Dana. A tough loss for the Brewers this afternoon, and we're not just talking about the game. More on that story next in sports.
Well, the opening round against the Pistons was a breeze for the Bucks, but definitely not the case for the conference semifinals against the Celtics. Now, this is arguably one of the best series in the playoffs right now. Now, Boston proving that home court advantage isn't going to be a guaranteed win for anybody. Last week, Giannis said that playing at Fiserv Forum was going to be a huge advantage for the Bucks, but not if Kyrie Irving has anything to say about it. The fadeaway there, Celtics in the lead by 7, and minutes later, the turnaround baseline jumper, Boston up by double digits early on. Now, Giannis struggling a bit today, but getting help off the bench. Nikola Mirotic drains a 3. He contributed 13 points, 4 rebounds. Bucks down by 2 at the half. Third quarter here now, Brook Lopez, his only bucket of the game, but hey, that gave the Bucks the lead on that 3 there. The Celtics take it back, though, thanks to Al Horford getting the no-look pass and puts up 3 of his own. And then Giannis, kind of frustrated, unleashing here in the closing seconds of the third quarter with a driving slam, still a double-digit deficit, and it would stay that way. The Bucks lose 112-90, the final score. Giannis with 22 points, Chris Middleton with 16. But the Celtics, this was the difference. They had 5 guys in double-digit scoring. Now, with more on what didn't go right for the Bucks, here's Kevin Lewis at Fiserv Forum.
It was the Bucks who used third quarters to put games away against the Pistons in the first round. Not the case against Boston on Sunday. The Celtics outscored the Deer 36-21 after the break and stole home court.
Obviously, it was one of the toughest loss we've ever had all season long, and especially at home. We just got to, with a group, watch clips and tapes and be ready for Tuesday.
We came in very focused, locked in on the things that we wanted to do as a group. We knew that we were going to have to play a very solid game, and I felt like our focus level was good from the beginning. We just continue to stick together throughout the game.
Well, Giannis had an off-shooting night by his standards, and it was contagious. Milwaukee shot just 35% from the field.
I mean, I think we missed a lot of open shots, but Boston did a great job, just making it tough. They shrink the paint, switched a lot of our pick and rolls, took us a lot of our action. So we just had to find a way to continue to run our offense, play with pace, and play with a lot of flow.
Just like in any game, when you get a good look, you get open opportunities, you kind of need to capitalize on them. And we didn't do a good enough job of making open shots, and then there were probably too many possessions where we didn't generate really good shots.
The Bucks will try to even the series in Game 2. Tip-off at 7 o'clock Tuesday night at the Fiserv Forum. In Milwaukee, I'm Kevin Lewis, News 3 Now Sports.
To baseball now, Craig Counsell wasting no time getting Gio Gonzalez back and acclimated with the team. Gonzalez getting the start this afternoon. The Brewers aiming for the first series sweep since the Crew won 3 against the Reds at the beginning of April. Now, the Mets led 2-0 early, and in the 5th, Christian Yelich pulled from the game after this run here. He reportedly had some discomfort that he felt in his lower back. Not quite sure when or how it happened yet, but after the game, Craig Counsell said he's a little sore, and Yelich will be day-to-day for right now. To some actual highlights here, we pick it up in the 7th. Brewers still down 2-0 until Mike Moustakas goes way back to right. His 7th home run of the season, tie ball game. Bottom of the inning, 2 men on for J.D. Davis. Rakes one to left field, and the Mets take the 3-2 lead. That would be the final score. And the Brewers, they'll host the Rockies tomorrow. Yelich will not be in the lineup. Finally tonight, Geico 500 at Talladega Super Speedway. Big crash on the final lap. David Reagan hitting William Byron. Kyle Larson also in the mix, flipping over multiple times. Kurt Busch was also involved. Now, Chase Elliott had the lead with 4 laps to go and ends up taking the checkered flag to win at Talladega. Now, this is Chevrolet's first victory of the season. If you remember, his dad, Hall of Famer Bill Elliott, won twice at Talladega in the 80s. Definitely a tough place to win a race for sure. They're always talking about the big crashes there. But also looking forward to Game 2 for the Bucks on Tuesday. Hopefully we'll be able to figure out if they can really bounce back. They've had a pretty breezy playoff so far.
Yeah, so that was the first time they were facing some real trouble.
Yeah.
All right, thanks so much. We'll be right back. So we have a pretty rainy week ahead.
We do. Unfortunately, it looks like our unsettled pattern of some clouds and then some rain is really just going to continue for the next few days. Showers developing for us after midnight. They'll linger into your Monday morning commute, and then cloud coverage throughout Monday afternoon. Highs will be in the low 50s for Monday and Tuesday. Scattered showers and thunderstorms late in the day on Tuesday. They'll linger into Wednesday morning. Temperatures will be just a little more mild by Wednesday and Thursday, but we won't be close to average until the end of the week, and we won't be done with the rain until we get closer to Friday. Friday will finally give us some sunshine. We'll be in the 60s. Saturday, finally at average in the middle 60s. But as you can see, another rain chance comes knocking on the door late Saturday for Sunday. So have the umbrella on hand, guys.
And keep it with you.
Yes.
Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great night.